She says the football coach jilted her and ripped her off. He says she just lost in the game of love.
Order, all rise. Good morning, Judge.
How are you?
Just fine. Good. Judge, this is Simons versus Wright.
Lynn Simons.
Yes, Your Honor.
Read your complaint. Your complaint says that you rented an apartment to Mr. Wright. He stiffed you for the rent and he stole your mobile card. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I did not rent any apartment from her. I have evidence to show that where I was actually living.
Well, it's true. Your version is slightly different. You say that you were romantically involved and you stayed occasionally in the apartment and she gave you the credit card. Is that right?
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Yes.
No, that's not a fact.
Yes.
And I can prove the reverse.
Well, tell me about this rental.
He agreed that while I was not there, he would live in my apartment because he wasn't happy with where he was, but he didn't have a whole lot of money, and I agreed that he would pay me when he had the opportunity because he needed somewhere to stay.
What do you mean he would pay you when he had the opportunity?
He told me that he had a check coming in from a pension fund or something like that, but that he was short of cash right now because his girlfriend had done him wrong.
Plus also he told her that he was taking this coaching job and that just as soon as he got a check, he would help her to take care of the rent.
I don't mind just telling me part of the story, madam, but I don't know who you are. Who are you?
This is my mother. This is my mother, Pauline.
My name is Pauline Ogden.
Ogden?
Yes.
Yes, Miss Ogden. Go ahead.
And I heard some of this when it was taking place.
Were you there at this party at a friend's house?
Yes, I was.
No, she was not at the party. No way.
Are you saying you didn't meet me at
Rick and Lila's?
Rick and Lila's home in
No.
May, the last May before they left?
No. I don't even know those people.
That's where you first
Miss
met
Ogden.
I and Lynn both.
Tell me about the conversation that you overheard at the party.
Well, he was telling her about his coaching job, and he was waiting for
At
this
the party?
job.
When you first meet somebody, you don't go into telling all that. That's a lie.
This was later.
At the party.
When we
She's
sat
saying
down,
at the
When we
party.
sit down to eat.
At
Mr.
the party.
Mr. Wright,
She said
I
at
have a
the
couple
party.
of questions for you.
Okay.
You say that you didn't rent this apartment.
That's right, I did.
So you stayed there occasionally. Were you romantically involved with each
She
other?
was, I wasn't.
Well, that is very
Excuse me, Your
unchivalrous of
Honor.
you, sir.
Right.
When I say romantically involved, she wasn't your landlord
No.
and
What was
tenant,
I?
No.
right?
I thought I
Did you
was.
go out
Then
together?
why were you there?
That's not possible. I didn't live there.
Did you date?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes. I went
Did
out
you-
to dinner with him a couple of times.
Anything more than dating?
No, Your Honor. I had a boyfriend at the time.
Yeah, and that's another story. You know, I'm there, and this guy, she was dating this elderly gentleman who called at the house, and I answered the phone, and he had money, and so then when he found out that I was there, then he dropped her like a hot potato, and I think that's why then 8 months later she wants money from him because she lost her sugar daddy.
Mr. Wright, let me ask you this question. She says you went out for dinner together and that was it. Did you do anything more with each other than just have an occasional light meal?
Yeah.
Like,
What? She wants to know what, so do I.
Well, it was in your bed, so you ought to know.
excuse me?
But you
Would
weren't
you
involved.
keep them quiet, please?
You weren't
This is a
involved,
court,
Jim.
just a sec.
No,
This is a
I wasn't.
courtroom, ladies and gentlemen. Did you ever stay in the apartment when he was there?
Yes, yes.
How often?
Not very often.
How-
I was back and forth.
How?
Out of 30 days,
Yeah.
I would be there sometimes 5 times in a month.
Okay. And out of a 30-day period, sir, which 30 days are we talking about? Which months?
In June, July,
Let's-
August.
Let's talk about
Which
June.
month? She just said 3
Let's
months.
talk
What
about
month?
June.
Okay,
Could I
June.
run my courtroom?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you said which month, and she said 3 of them, so I thought maybe you might want to.
You can't confuse me, sir. I'm very smart. In June, how many days did you stay in the apartment?
Hardly at all. I never not to stay to live there. I have proof of where I was living.
Okay, good. I'd like to see the proof of where you were living.
There you go.
Now, let me hear about this mobile card while I'm looking at this. You say she gave you a mobile card?
To use, yeah.
How does somebody give somebody else a mobile card?
She handed it to me and said that I was allowed to use this, that it would be okay to use it, and then give it back to her when I was done.